after Virginia Governor Ralph Northam called for the decriminalization of cannabis in the state address January 9th. So it's good to know that Virginia is working hard to get towards legalization. D.C. lawmaker aims to green light for recreational cannabis sales. Now, don't forget, last year we read a headline saying that the mayor was proposing an open window for the sale of cannabis. So who knows what's going on out
Retail
there.
store.
Here we are. This is now the second thing that we're hearing. D.C. lawmaker aims to get the green light for recreational cannabis sales. It's right here in the district. People, listen up. It has been nearly 5 years since residents of Washington, D.C., that's all y'alls and us, me, voted on Initiative 71. Effective, well, I don't know if everyone in here voted on Initiative 71. I hope you did. Effectively legalizing low-level cannabis possession and home growing of the plant. However, recreational sales remain stunted in the nation's capital. The core part of the problem? Question mark. D.C. was prohibited from using local tax dollars to establish a tax and regulate scheme by Congress. Under Republican control, the legislative body attached a provision in federal budgets each year since 2014 that's left D.C. in limbo when it comes to recreational cannabis sales. One D.C. lawmaker, however, is determined to change that. With Democrats now in the majority in the House of Representatives, where the writer on federal budgets originates, D.C. at-large council member David Grosso sees an opportunity to get the district out of its limbo, once and for all. Can you see if we can get council member David Grosso?
Yeah, he'd definitely be down.
Can you come over here and talk to us about this? Yeah, get up the notes, man. Note status. The status quo, look at that, see the words that pop out there. The status quo has led to a confusing and problematic state of affairs with residents and businesses unclear on what is legal, what is not, and wondering how it can be that it is legal to possess marijuana but not to buy or sell it. Of course, unless you're a resident and you have a card at 1 of 5, where you can be 1 of 5 members of the 1 of 5 dispensaries that do exist. Shout out to Tacoma Wellness. Grosso, Grosso, who is an independent, said in a press release, "We need to fix this. This new reality on Capitol Hill means that chances of D.C. legalizing marijuana sales are greater than ever." Grosso credits the the passage of Initiative 71 with keeping district residents away from needless involvement in the judicial system. Since D.C. voters approved Initiative 71 to decriminalize recreational cannabis, we have seen marijuana regulated arrests plummet. Does that mean drop, right? Plummet?
Yeah.
Not go high? Okay. What's the opposite of plummet? Skyrocket?
Yeah.
Skyrocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Representing thousands of district residents who were spared needless involvement in the judicial system. I feel like we read that twice. Grosso said, the logical next step to continue to reduce arrests and bring marijuana totally out of the shadows is to set up a strong tax and regulatory system. I love how he says strong tax. Yeah? Grosso introduced a form of his cannabis sales legislation in every council period since 2013. In the latest version of the Marijuana Legalization and Regulation Act, he included new provisions aimed at rectifying the wrongs of the failed war on drugs. The war on drugs was a failure. It was increasing our mass incarceration problem and not helping with our drug dependency problem. He said further, the data also has consistently shown that the war on drugs has been racist in its implementation. It's a racial justice issue. It's not enough that we change these policies. We also have to proactively heal the communities most negatively impacted. At-large council members Anita Bonds and Robert White and Ward 1 council member Brian Maydew, I hope I'm saying that right, signed on as co-introducers of the legislation. In other news, going up a little bit more north, we go over to New York, where the governor presents a plan to legalize recreational cannabis. it's crazy that we've had this much progress, and all of a sudden, New York, who has been very conservative, I might add,
I know we're doing it.
Whip it out like
we're doing it.
Am I going back up to? Do I got to make a trip back up to New York?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Do I live in Brooklyn now?
Right. Is my address? Is my phone number again? 516-631. Shout out to Suffolk County. Governor of New York presents a plan to legalize recreational cannabis. Andrew Cuomo, New York, Democratic governor, presented his plan to legalize recreational cannabis in the state on Tuesday. The governor outlined highlights of his proposal in a written message that was distributed to lawmakers as part of the state address. Under Cuomo's plan, the State Office of Cannabis Management would be created to regulate the recreational cannabis industry. The new agency would also be tasked with developing a plan to review and seal past convictions for cannabis offenses. Cuomo's plan would include licenses for cannabis cultivators, distributors, and retailers. So everyone that's already set up in Brooklyn, all they gotta do is get their license now.
Paperwork?
All those grows out there and everything like that,
Paperwork.
Yeah, paperwork. Lots of paperwork.
Kings County's about to be popping.
Love paperwork. It's digital now. You can email it.
Yeah.
The new agency would also be tasked with developing a plan to review and seal past convictions for cannabis and convictions and offenses. Cuomo's plan would include licenses for cannabis cultivators would not be allowed to own a retail dispensary. A 20% tax and 2% local tax would be imposed on transactions from wholesalers to retailers, and cultivators would be assessed taxes on a per gram basis. She's like, oh, you got the fire? That's 5 cents per gram. I'm sorry, $5 per gram. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's New York, baby.
$5, $5.
The governor said the governor $5 on every gram. The governor said that the tax rates of the neighboring states were a factor in determining the rates for New York or New York. The how is something that we're talking about right now. Cuomo said, I think you have to look at New Jersey and you have to look at Massachusetts. They are natural competitors in the marketplace. So we're not a competitor? Oh yeah, we're not in the marketplace yet. State taxes in Massachusetts on recreational cannabis total 17%, and local governments can add up to 3% more. New Jersey has not yet legalized recreational cannabis, but is also developing. So Cuomo said that projections show that up to $3 million a year could be raised from taxes alone on legal cannabis.